Hello, I'm coming again. So I myself, Dr. T. Surendra Singhs, would like to update one circulations which is very important for the aspirants teacher of the college and universities who will finish PhD programs. The date of the notice which is circulated by the UGC is 17 November 2022. The title of the regulation is University Grants Commission's Minimum Standard and Procedure for Award of PhD Degree Regulations 2022. This is very, very important from the job entry as well as promotion point of view. And very less number of the people know its regulations. And that is why they will face problems. So familiarity and popularize synthesize such kind of news to the public in exercise of the power conferred by clause number F and G of the section 1 of section 26 of the University Grants Commissions Act 1956 within bracket 3 of 1956 and in the separation of the UGC minimum standard and procedure for award of the MPhil oblique PhD degree regulation 2016 and its amendment, the University Grants Commission hereby makes the following regulations, namely, these regulations may be called University Grants Commissions, that is minimum standard and procedure for award of PhD degree regulation 2022. They shall apply to every university established or incorporated by or under central act, a provisional act or state act. Every college and every institution deemed to be university under section 3 of the University Grants Commission Act 1956. These shall come into force from the date of their publication in the Gazette of India. I will not come to the definition term. Instead of that, I will come directly to the point. The first point is eligibility criteria for admission to PhD programs. Following are eligible to seek admission to the PhD programs. Number one, 1 year oblique 2 semester master degree programs after 4 year oblique semester bachelor degree program or 2 years or 2 semester master degree program after 3 year bachelor degree programs or the qualification declared equivalent to master degree by corresponding statutory regulatory body with at least 55% marks in aggregate or its equivalent grade in the point scales whenever grading system is followed, or equivalent qualification from a foreign educational institutions accredited by assessment accreditation agencies, that is NAAC, which is approved, recognized, or authorized by an authority established or incorporated under a law in its home country or any other statutory authority in that country to assess, accredit, or assure quality and standard of the educational institutions. Relaxation of 5% marks or its equivalents grade may be allowed for those belonging to the SC, ST, OBC, non-creamy layer, differently able, economically weaker sections, and other category of candidate as per the decision of the Commission from time to time. provided that a candidate seeking admissions after a 4 year oblique I semester bachelor degree programs should have a minimum of 75% mark in aggregate or its equivalent grade on point scale whenever the grade system is allowed. Followed, a relaxation of 5% marks or its equivalent grade may be allowed for those belonging to SC, ST, OBC, non-creamy layer, differently able, economically weaker section, and other category of candidate as per the decision of the commission from the time to time. Candidate who have been completed MPhil programs with at least 55 marks in aggregate or its equivalent grade in the point scale whenever a grading system is followed or equivalent qualification from a foreign educational institution accredited by an assessment and accreditation agencies which is approved, recognized or authorized by authority shall be eligible for admission to PhD program. Relaxation of 5 marks or equivalent grade may be allowed for those belonging to SC, ST, OBC, non-creamy layer, differently able, economically weaker section, and other categories of candidate as per the decision of the commission from time to time. Duration of the program. PhD shall be for a minimum duration of 3 years, including coursework, as maximum duration of 6 years from the date of the admissions to the PhD programs. A maximum of an additional 2 years can be given through a process of re-registrations as per state oblique ordinance of higher education institution concerned, provided, however, that the total period for completion of a PhD program should not exceed 8 years from the date of the admission in PhD programs. Provisional further that female PhD scholars and persons with disability having more than 40% disability may be allowed an additional relaxation of 2 years. However, total period for the completion of PhD program in such case shall not be exceed 10 years from the date of the admission in PhD programs. Female PhD scholars may be provided minority maternity leave, childcare leave for 240 days in the entire duration of the PhD programs. Procedure for admissions. Admissions shall be based on the criteria notified by the institution, keeping in view the guidelines norms in this regard issued by the UGC and other statutory regulatory body concerned, taking into account the reservation policy of the central oblique state government from time to time. Admission to the PhD program shall be made using the following methods. Higher education institution may admit the students who qualify the fellowship, scholarship in UGC, NET, GUC, CSSR, NET, GET, SEAT, the similar national level test based on an interview. Higher education institution may admit the students through an entrance test conducted at the level of the individual higher education institutions. Entrance test syllabus shall consist of 50% of the research methodology, 50% shall be subject specific. Students who have secured 50% mark in entrance test are eligible to be called for interview. A relaxation of 5% marks will be allowed in entrance examinations for the candidate belonging to SC, ST, OBC, differently able category, economically weaker sections, and other categories of candidate as per decision of the commission from time to time. Higher education institutions may decide the number of the eligible students to be called for interview based on the number of the PhD seat available, provided that for the selection of candidate based on the entrance tests conducted by higher education institutions, a weightage of 70% for the entrance test and 30% for performance of the interview shall be given. University and college which will be eligible to conduct PhD programs shall notify the prospectus well in advance on the institution website specifying the number of seat for the admissions, subject or discipline wise distribution of the available seat criteria for admission, procedure for admission, and all relevant information for the candidates. Either to the national or state level reservation policy is applicable. Higher education institutions shall maintain a list of PhD supervisor, specify name of the supervisor, his or her designations, department, school oblique centers, along with the details of the PhD scholars, specifying the name of the registered PhD scholar, topic, or his or her research and date of the admissions admitted under them on the website of the institutions. Update this list every academic years. Allocation of supervisors. Eligibility criteria to be research supervisor, co-supervisor, number of the PhD scholar permissible under supervisors. Permanent faculty members working as as professor, associate professor of the higher education institution with a PhD, at least 5 year, 5 research publication, peer reviewed or peer or referred journals, and permanent faculty members working as assistant professor in higher education institution with PhDs. At least 3 research publications in peer-reviewed or peer journals may be recognized as a research supervisor in the university where the faculty member is employed, or in its affiliated postgraduate college institute. Such recognized research supervisor cannot supervise research scholars in other institutions where they can only act as co-supervisors. PhD awarded by the university under the supervision of faculty member who is not an employee of university or is affiliated postgraduate college institute would be in violation of these regulations. For PhD scholars working in the central government, state government research institutions whose degree are given by higher education institutions, the scientists in such research institutions who are equivalent to professor, associate professor, or assistant professor can be recognized as a supervisor if they fulfill the above requirements, provided that in areas of discipline where there is no or only a limited number of the peer reviewed or the referred journal, higher education institution may relax the above condition for recognition of the persons as research supervisors with reasons recorded in writings. Co-supervisor from within the same or other department of the same institute or other institutions may be permitted with the approval of the competent authority. Adjunct faculty members shall not act as research supervisors and can act as co-supervisors. In case of interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary research works, if required, co-supervisor from outside the department or school, college, or centers or university may be appointed. An eligible professor, associate, or assistant professor can guide up for the professor 8, for the associate 6, for the assistant professor 4, PhD scholars respectively at any times. In case of the reallocation of female PhD scholars due to the marriage and or otherwise, the research data shall be allowed to be transferred to the higher education institution to which scholars intend to reallocate, provided all the other conditions in these regulations are followed, and the research does work does not pertain to projects sanctioned to the parent institution or supervisors by any funding agencies. Such scholars shall, however, give due credit to the parent institution or supervisor of that part of the research already undertaken. Faculty member with less than 3 years of service before the superannuation shall not be allowed to take a new research scholar under their supervision. However, such faculty can continue supervisors, PhD scholars who are already registered under the supernations and co-supervisors after the supernations, but not after attaining the age of 70 years. Admission of the international students in PhD programs. This is not important. Coursework credit requirements under the durations, number, duration, syllabus, minimum standard for completions. Credit requirement for PhD work is minimum 12 credit, including research and publication ethics course as notified by UGC by DO number F1-1 oblique 2018 journal oblique year in 2019. A research methodology course. Research Advisory Committee can also recommend UGC recognize online course as a part of the credit requirement for PhD programs. All PhD scholars, irrespective of discipline, shall be required to train in teaching oblique education pedagogy, writing related to their chosen PhD subjects during their doctoral period. PhD scholars may also be assigned 4 to 6 hours per week of teaching research essential for conducting tutorial or the laboratory work and evaluations. PhD scholars must obtain minimum 55 marks or its equivalent grade in UGC 10-point scales in the coursework to be eligible to continue the program and submit his or her thesis. This Departmental Advisory Research Advisory Committee and function. This is not unnecessarily. I will not mention. This is the other area. Evaluation assessment methods, minimum standards for the award of the degree. Upon a satisfaction completion of coursework, obtaining the marks grade prescribed clause 3 of the regulation 9 above, the PhD scholar shall be required to undertake research works and produce a draft dissertation or thesis. Before submitting the dissertation thesis, PhD scholar shall make a presentation before the Research Advisory Committee of the higher educational institution concerned, which shall also be open to all faculty members and other research scholars or students. Higher educational institutions concerned shall have mechanism using well-developed software application to detect the plagiarism in such work. In research works and research integrity shall be an integral part of all the research activities leading to the award of a PhD degree. A PhD scholar shall submit the thesis for evaluations along with the undertaking from the PhD scholar that there is no plagiarism. A certificate from the research supervisor attesting to the originality of thesis that thesis has not been submitted for the award of any other degree, diploma, or to any higher educational institutions. PhD thesis submitted by PhD scholar shall be evaluated by his or her research supervisors and at least two examiners who are expert in the field or not in the employment of the higher educational institution concerned. Such examiners shall be academic with good record of the scholarly publication in the field. Wherever possible, one of the external examiners should be chosen from outside India. Viva Voice Board shall consist of research supervisor. At least one of the two external examiners may be conducted online. The Viva shall be open to the members of the Research Advisory Committee, faculty members, research scholars, and student. Higher educational institutions may formulate appropriate rule ordinances to effect the provision of the regulations. The viva voice of the PhD scholar to defend the thesis shall be conducted if both the external examiner recommended acceptance of thesis after incorporating any correction suggested by them. If one of the external examiner recommends the rejections, the higher education concerned shall send the thesis to an alternate external examiner from the approval panel of the examiner, and a viva voice examination shall be held only if the alternate examiner recommends the acceptance of the thesis. If the alternate examiner does not recommend the acceptance of thesis, the thesis shall be rejected. PhD scholars shall be declared eligible for the award of the PhD degree. Higher education institutions concerned all complete the entire process of the evaluating PhD thesis, including the declaration of viva voice results within the period of the 6 months from the date of the submission of the thesis. Academic, research, administrative infrastructure requirement to be fulfilled by the college for getting recognition for offering the PhD programs. This is not important. Postgraduate colleges offering 4-year programs or postgraduate programs may offer a PhD program provided they satisfy the availability eligible research supervisor require infrastructure supporting administrative research facilities as per these regulations. College and research institutions established by central government or state government whose degrees are awarded by higher education shall offer PhD programs provided they have at least two faculty members in the college or two PhD qualified scientists in the research institutions, adequate infrastructure, administrative support, research facilities, and other resources as specified by the higher education institutions. So the college having the PG courses can open at least two faculty members eligible as supervisors. PhD programs through the part-time mode will be permitted provided all the conditions stipulated in the regulation are fulfilled. Higher education institutions shall obtain no objection certificate through the candidate for a part-time PhD program from the appropriate authority and organization where candidate is employed, clearly stating that the candidate permitted to pursue the studies on part-time basis. His or her official duties permit him or her to devote himself sufficient time for research. If required, he or she shall be relieved from duty to complete the course works. Notwithstanding anything contained in this regulation or any other law for the time being in force, no higher education institutions or research institution of the central or state government shall conduct PhD program through distance mode or online mode. Grant of MPhil. Higher education institutions shall not offer MPhil programs as MPhil program has been cancelled. Award of the degree to the candidate registered for PhD programs on or after the 11 July 2019 till the date of the notification regulations shall be governed by the provision of UC minimum standard and procedure award MPhil PhD program regulation 2019 or UC minimum standard and procedure for award of the MPhil PhD regulation 2016 as the case may be. Further, the award of degree to the candidates already registered and pursuing PhD shall be governed by this regulation or minimum standard and procedure for award of the MPhil PhD degree regulation 2016. Nothing in these regulations shall impact the MPhil degree programs commencing prior to the enactment of these regulations. Depository to the implement. Following the successful completion of the evaluations process before the announcement of the award of PhD degree, the higher education institution concerned shall submit an electronic copy of PhD thesis to the ImpleNet for hosting the same so as to make it accessible to all higher education institutions and research institutions. So this is the Secretary Rajnish Jain of the UGC circulated this PhD regulations 2022. This is the latest regulation for the PhD programs. So all the PhD students need to know and need to aware, formulate their programs, and they have to circulate. They have to produce two research article in national or international, to extracted from the thesis is very important, and those journals should be Scopus or UC clear list. So these are the conditions. These are the conditions for award of the PhD degree by the higher education institutions. This regulation is entitled as Minimum Standard and Procedure for Award of the PhD Degree Regulation 2022. From these regulations, I hope that viewers have learned that what are the regulations inside this regulation 2022. I hope that this information will hope that may be highly beneficial to you in order to complete your PhD as per UC norms. Wish you all the best. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye bye again. See you in the next video.